to keep her going and give her the will.
Folks, I want you to think again what Christ said in Matthew 16. He said, "For what will a person exchange his soul?" Go through the day. For what did we exchange our soul? Think of the things that we exchanged our soul for. Now, some things are first class, some things are second class. How much should our soul be exchanged for second class? I'd like to hear from you on that.
And it records, so it's that easy.
And take this out, it presses.
Oh, that's great.
And political cartoonists and zine artists, and the show continues down those stairs and downstairs. Just so you know, there's amazing work down there. And there's also bathrooms downstairs and up here. We also just want to let you know that this place is really run on incredible support from many of you here in the audience. Volunteers make this place tick, and we want to thank everyone for all their incredible support for this place. There's a few upcoming events I just want to bring up, just because there's some really great upcoming events. Jeremy Scahill is coming next week.
Wow.
It's the second time coming back. He'll be here next Friday night. And then Bike is happening on Saturday. And does anybody want to say anything about Bike? A little shout out for Bike.
Bike Northeast is a meeting of the minds of bicycle folks from all over the Northeast. There's people coming from Worcester, Providence, Ithaca, New York City, Northampton. So we have like books right now, probably between 50 and 80 guests, both local and regional. It's an all-day event on Saturday the 24th, and then there's that night there's a documentary screening and band playing. So whether you're interested in coming to the conference part or just to the bands and the film, check it out.
Yeah, we're like Beer, the movie. It's about bicycle culture in Portland. It's pretty interesting.
There's also going to be a bike rodeo on the street for kids in the afternoon, which will be really great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And then just a few days after that is a film called My Suicide, which is really an amazing film made by a bunch of young people in Southern California. It's won 17 awards around the world. It's having problems getting distribution, and it's coming to the Sanctuary. And we specialize in those kind of films, the films that regular mainstream places won't show, that can't find, a place to be screened. Those are the kind of films that are at home here at the Sanctuary. So anyhow, there's also a really great workshop. We have a Be the Media workshop series because one of our core missions is media reform. The idea being that we need to have more local voices. Any way we can help support that. And we have a really great workshop coming up on Sunday, April 18th with Jim DeSalle called The Camera is Interface to the World, which should be some kind of mystical and technical experience all in one. Other than that, I want to just introduce you to this incredible night. It's great to see you all here. We've been waiting a long time for this. We're really, really happy to have Victoria Perezzi, the media maker. And we want to put out a special shout out to Victoria's family who came here.
Wow.
Yep, the family is here.
Stand up.
parents stand up. Yay! Also to the arts department, Victoria, tonight is her MFA thesis presentation. So this is the end work of 2 years at RPI in the arts department, and she's going to be showing this work. And I also want to thank her thesis committee, who is in the room, Professor Hyde. Have an outside thesis advisor who comes and judges the person's final work, and we're happy to have Sally Berger, who is a curator for the Museum of Modern Art. So, and then we move to Glendora. Glendora is what this place is all about, right? You'll hear it said in the movie that she is a Porta-Pack pioneer, and pioneer you are. And what a better place than the Sanctuary for Independent Media to have you come, because you have spent your entire life dedicated to creating independent media, to creating local voices, and we really respect and honor you being in the room tonight. So with that, I just want to thank you. And I want to introduce Victoria Cressy, who will get the whole event going. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. This is really special and wonderful. I'm not going to say too much, but just a little bit about, you're going to see 2 films this evening, and both of the films are about what I call public access divas or mavericks, older women public access. And the first woman is Bernice Perry. There's going to be a short film about her life in connection to public access. And then the feature presentation is a film that I've been making for the past 3 years. I thought it was 4 years, but Glendora corrected me. It's 3 years.
Seemed like 10.
Seems like 10. Gee, thanks. She keeps saying, like, this documentary seems like it keeps going on and on. Did you get what you needed for this? So, yes, here it is presenting to you tonight. And that's really special that Glendora is here. And her friends from the Kinderhook area and her church are also here, which is really that's about it. Enjoy, and I will see you after the videos, and we'll do a Q&A session. And we also have some happy books as well. People would like to take some happy books. You will learn what that is as you walk. Thank you.
Do you want me to stop recording when we watch the movies, or do you want to record those too?
Yeah, why don't you record while you start it a little bit?
Okay.
You have about an hour and a half.
Okay.
How far down front do you want to sit?
Did everyone turn off their cell phones?
Oh, yes, please turn off your cell phones, everyone.
In the hush of a lifetime, in the stillness of your warm love, I'd call you my darling. Your voice seems to echo above. In the hush of a lifetime, I will pledge you serenity. Haunting memories remain through entwining eternity. Just giving you first place exclusively with sharing the stage of romance. Those cherished desires will be enchants. In the hush of a lifetime, The sunrise I saw in you beckons. Come to my arms, for I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you. And that's the lyric. It's amazing I remember it. And that, inspired by Mr. Sinatra, I wanted him to know that he was loved for himself alone.
In the hush of the laughter, in the stillness of your warm love, I'll call you my darling. Your voice seems to echo. In the hush of the laughter, I will pledge you serenity.
It says, Bernice Perry, a woman of destiny, has become the queen of cable TV. Bernice Perry hosts and stars in a gab and variety show with celebrity guests and is a talented songsmith with the unique creative ability of composing words and music. The music has an unusual, haunting quality, a very distinctive, unique lyric, not in the usual meter.
Is my inspiration, and all my music is written because of him. And I say thank you, Mr. Francis Albert Sinatra, hello wherever you are.
If you're a fantasy that I'm content to be in love with loving you, and pray my dream comes true.
I guess I have to really go back. Very few people know. I was brought up in a children's home. My mother went into the hospital when she was 28 years of age, and I was 6. And my 2 sisters were younger. And my mother passed away at the age of 44, and I was in the children's home from the age of 6 to 16 and a half. I used to listen to WNEW with Mr. Sinatra and dance around the room. Over here is Frank Sinatra Jr. That was at the Waldorf. Must be with him. And Alan Jones, actor, singer. Chuck Scarborough on my show. What are the pictures of Mr. Sinatra to me? There is Liberace. I was very young in that when I was 21 years of age, so that was a long, long time ago. These are all of me. I wanted to go to Hollywood and be discovered like Lana Turner. Show business people used to go into this drugstore here in New York. So I went in there and I would sit on the stool, figuring I'll be discovered there. And sure enough, an agent came over to me and asked if I was working, and I said no. He says, do you dance? I said, yes, I do. I was a dancer for 10 months, and then I gave it up because I was very, very naive. I was 17 and a half and never been kissed, and when men would plain words proposition me, I would get angry and insulted. Today I would say, you don't have enough experience for me. You know, I would know how to handle it.
What haunts you the most with your past memories? Haunts you. Haunts you, yes. So getting scandalous, something very scandalous. I don't know, I'm asking you.
Tell us, what haunts you?
What haunts me?
Yeah.
Well, actually, part of reality. When I was a little child, when I was a young girl, I dreamed about meeting Mr. Otto Preminger. And now, you know, I've met you so many times on my show. I still am very proud that you are here. You are here. Come close, come close.
Being without my mother at a young age was very, very difficult. So it was lonely, a lonely childhood, and I would escape. I used to read a lot of books, and I would write poems, And even now today with the songs that I write, especially if I feel blue, I'll write something pretty to make the world more beautiful. Forevermore, dear Mr. Francis Albert Sinatra, I wish you an exquisite, healthy, happy birthday. The flow of Tinsley time reflected in your blue sapphire eyes, your unique, magnificent manlyhood to brush the heavenly stars. You are adored beyond eternity, your spirit enhanced by a combination of strength and intelligence. You are needed always.
In the wrong spot, though your smile is lovely, it's the wrong smile. It's not her smile, but such a lovely smile. So it's all.
There was a time I was in the hospital and I had surgery and I was actually dying, and I prayed to God that if I would survive it, that someday Mr. Sinatra would come to know me and that he would hear my song In the Hush of a Lifetime, which I had written for him. I did survive, and I did come to know Mr. Sinatra personally, and he came to know me. So he gave me my reason for being alive. There were many days I didn't even want to get out of bed, and I would think of him, and I would push my foot off the bed and get off the bed, and he gave me my strength. I was married, that was years ago. I got a divorce in 1971, and I had 2 children, and I remained single the rest of my time. I did do some dating, and it became very difficult for me to meet anyone that I could really care for. Once I really met Mr. Francis Albert Sinatra, I knew he was married, so I had no designs of him romantically, but I had a spiritual bond with him. And after I expressed my feelings to him, which he saw some of the letters, and he appreciated everything I did, no one that I met could come up to him, so I just gave up any thought of any other relationship. Doing public access, being able to create, I keep myself alive. Without my music and without the show, I'd be dead, because I'm a real prisoner in the house. So being able to create and plan the shows and think, and my music is the only thing keeping me going. Otherwise I'd just lay down and die altogether.
In the hush of a lifetime, in the stillness of your warm love, I call
she was not shooting this, and she has a cinematographer right here shooting with her flash camera. So we're going to do a Q&A. Going to sit there?
It's a story of friendship. It's a story of friendship. My friendship with you and my friendship with Victoria.
Both of you.
Can you hear?
Yep.
Do you want to hold it?
And my advice is very good. Nobody ever comes back for more.
Would you like to take a seat?
No, I can stand.
Okay. You do right. I'm going to sit. But you are, of course.
For Victoria tomorrow, 4 on 1.
And my thesis defense tomorrow.
Thank you, sweetheart.
But I think I might bring my secret weapon. Does anybody have questions for Glendora or myself? If so, there's a microphone right there. If I could ask that you come up to the microphone. And this is also being taped to be aired on public access TV, the Q&A session. So.
Where?
The Glendora TV network.
Oh.
75 or 80 public access?
85.
Oh, they grow every week. Seriously. It was 60 or 50 when we started this project.
They've grown a lot, and that's spelled G-R-O-A-N. Are you dumbfounded? Is that why you have no questions?
Oh, come over here.
If
Come
you
over
could
here.
come to the microphone, that would be great.
Come on over here. Come.
Good sound.
This is a paid announcement.
Stand in the line over here.
I have like 10 questions, but I'll start with one. First of all, I have to just say my compliments to both of you. That was an amazing piece, amazing document, and I'm so glad you're here because I still want to talk to you. So I'm so glad that funeral was like a rehearsal. That was really great. I want your advice because you did a little bit where you were loading the camera. And you said, you know, I love you, I love you, I love you. I would like your advice. What's the best way to keep equipment working for a really long time?
Great question.
That's it. You love it, you love it, you love it.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you do. You have to treat it lovingly. It's your great friend. That equipment is your great friend. Think where you'd be without those little RCA phonos.
Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the way that you keep up with technology?
Oh.
Maybe as a follow-up to that.
This young man right here, kind enough to videotape this on a JVC FM1, which is a camcorder that is less the size of an audio microcassette recorder. And it has its own built-in software to upload the video to the YouTube. Hold it up for them, please, if you will. And the JVC camcorder, the Averio, came out with a one-step, one-touch load to the YouTube. Now, before that, and all the camera, the flip-flops, what do we call them?
That works.
And the SD cards, the big format, of course, was the mini DV. Does this answer your question?
No.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Where's the person with the 9 other questions?
I'll wait. I'll come back.
We need you.
One thing that we have in common is we like to keep lists and check things off and stuff. The only thing I saw missing was I didn't see your hat collection catalog in inventory and when you got the hats and who you're leaving them to.
But Victoria showed it to you. You don't remember all the hats on the wall?
I did. That's why I didn't get to find out how many hats you had.
Those are only the summer hats. Then there's the winter hats.
Are they all cataloged?
Yeah. Excuse me?
Are they all cataloged?
No.
You have a list of them, so you know how many.
No, are they cataloged? No.
Who are they all being left to? Who's getting the hat?
What did you say?
Who's getting the hat when you're gone?
Oh.
Who are you leaving the hat to?
Get her name and address.
Careful what you wish for.
This is funny. I went to call up Devin. Devin is a 16-year-old junior at Kinderhook School District. And he, I give him the masters. I make about 35 half hours every month of TV shows. And I give the masters to him. And he takes them home on his computer, and he dubs them. And he dubs them for as many as 75 TV stations. And he labels the DV disc as to Glendora, as to the TV station, as to the day's cable cast, and as to the number of the show, which are right now at 5,450. And then he wraps them, and he addresses them to the TV station, and he puts my return address on them, and he brings them back to me. Then we have some TV stations, 12 of them, who take a 2-hour chat with Glendora. That would be 4 TV programs, right? 4 half hours. And so he does those. Plus, he streams, a chat with Glendora has an hour on YouTube because it came in, its grandmother came in 2006, I believe, when YouTube first started. And so he does those. And those go to Victoria after he's through with them. And he does this for $150 a month. And he's only 16. Well, anyway, I went to call him up the other day. And this woman said, hello! And his mother's name is Nancy. And I said, hello, Nancy, this is Glendora. The woman says, well, I'm not Nancy, but I know Glendora. I watch her on TV. And it was the wrong number. Let's tell the folks your name.
Me?
Yes.
I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
I used to live with Victoria. I actually talked to you on the phone once when you called.
Oh, yes, I remember
You
that.
told me a joke.
Yeah. What was the joke?
Oh, God, I wish I could remember. I'm sorry. It was good. I know it was good. I told Vicky when she got home. I just thought the movie was amazing. I'm so impressed, so proud of you, and so in awe of you. I was going to ask a question about YouTube, and of course you already answered part of my question, which is that you have an hour on YouTube that I guess goes up every time you finish a show. I wondered how you felt do you get a lot of feedback from your YouTube broadcast, and do you feel like the growth of online video has changed the place that public access TV occupies in like how, in, you know, the public airwaves that you talk so eloquently about?
Yes. Yes, it is. And when people say, well, I saw you, I have to say nowadays, well, was that on television or was it on the internet? And you begin to wonder, you don't get the response that you used to. And you don't get as many telephone calls as you used to when you go out on the street. People don't say as much that they saw you on the TV. And so you do begin to wonder, you know, when it costs so much money, you know, every month it must be $150. It was more than that. I just told you, Devin gets paid $150, so it's like $300 a month. And the labor on it is something like 95 hours a month. And the postage, what was it? And now it's about $128 a month. So you begin to wonder, you know, why do you keep doing this? You're a volunteer. You're a volunteer, nobody pays you. You keep wondering why you do it. And then you keep wondering about television. You see, when I started out in television, it was people's lives, and of course, over the years, it has diminished so much, right? So, you say, well, are we going to keep up this television distribution of 75? It's 450 dubs a month, about. That's what it is, 450 dubs. Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant?
Is that what I meant?
Yeah.
No, because I think that Vicky's piece captures really well the magic of the dubs, the stacks of DVD recorders, the stacks of videotapes. Like, she shows like the beauty of the physical things. So I wouldn't say, why do you keep making all those tapes? To me, the piece makes it really clear. I was just wondering how the internet was affecting it, and so you spoke to that a little bit in terms of getting less feedback. That maybe people, if people are watching your show on YouTube, it's in the middle of watching 20 other things, and so there's not the time to then go and send you a note.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think what's really powerful about public access TV is the local, like really that emphasis on the local, and that, you know, people who live in Kinderhook can see, you know, the Apple Festival that they've been belaboring over for the whole year leading up to the next. They can see that on Glendora's show. They can see something that's right there in their home, and I think that's what a lot of people are really thirsty for, and can't see that really necessarily, you know, on the YouTube or on any mainstream anything that's on that kind of cable or TV. And I think that's what's really powerful about staying on the air, and don't abandon your 85 public access TV stations.
Yeah, there's no question. NBC, ABC, and CBS cannot beat us. We have the content. We have the content. I never played the production game. They'll always beat us on production, right? But they can never get the news on that we can. And I have an instance to tell you. There's a lawyer in Los Angeles, and he caught the county of Los Angeles paying judges $40,000 a year, the county supervisor, to assure that all decisions were in favor of the county. He caught them doing it. The major media there has paid no attention to the fact that the judge, one of the judges in this case, who really is a respondent in the case, ruled on it. And the lawyer caught him on that. And the judge said, I'm going to make you pay, he said to the lawyer, I'm going to make you pay money to the county of Los Angeles and make you make a financial statement. And this lawyer said that he wouldn't do it. And he said it right to the face of the judge, until you put out your financial statement and put down that $40,000 bribe that you took. Where did the man go, the lawyer go? He's been in solitary confinement for 1 year in the Los Angeles County Jail. Nobody has covered that story except public access. Only public access has been brave enough to come out and talk about that corruption in all of the Los Angeles courts. Only public access. Guess what? There's no public access in the nation's second largest.
That's the county of LA. No, don't worry about it.
In the nation's second largest market, folks, there is no public access. There is no public access. That's all right, I can make them hear me. Okay, any other questions?
Two more right over here.
Yeah, I need you near the microphone though.
This is Judy. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Glendora. First of all, I'm very proud to call you my friend. Thank you for being my friend.
My pleasure.
I wanted to ask you, how many lawsuits have you been involved with on behalf of all of us in free speech?
I do not know, but I would say it would be 300. Thank you, Judy.
And do you ever use a lawyer?
Do not ever use a lawyer. There was a collision of two cars, and a third car pulled up. The man got out of the third car, and he said, "I saw the whole thing happen. I'll take either side. I'm a lawyer." And the post office put out a stamp that had a picture of a judge on it, and they had to withdraw it because the public couldn't decide which side to spit on. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
So nice to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Erin.
Hi, Aaron.
It's really
You're
nice.
Irish, aren't you? Nice red hair. Yes, go ahead.
This is a question for both of you. I'm curious what your one-time only phone call was like with Victoria, and then how your friendship grew from there.
That's how I met you. What was your question, Aaron?
I want to know what that initial phone call was like, and then how your friendship grew.
Oh, gee.
I think it was a bunch of jokes, and I laugh still at all Glendora's jokes. Like honestly laugh. I think they're amazing and hilarious, and laugh however many times I hear the same joke.
She's a good audience.
Yes, I'm a great audience. So I worked at the Manhattan Public Access Center, and I was the programming director. We got a lot of angry phone calls.
Oh.
What happened to my show? Why didn't it go on right?
Oh.
But Glendora's phone calls were never angry. They were very sweet. And I found it really interesting when she would talk about cable TV and how it began, and how the cable was thrown out of the studio window and hooked into a playback system, and
Well, you have
really excited about hearing the history.
You have to expatiate on that. That was when, Time, it was not Time Warner, it was Time. Before it became Time Warner, AOWOL, whatever it is. And the Manhattan Neighborhood Network was born, and they were down on 23rd Street, and the Manhattan cable TV was in this building, and juxtaposed was this other building, and this other building housed the new thing called the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And when they started up the Manhattan Neighborhood Network on the 10th floor of the Time Manhattan cable TV building, they opened the window and they threw the cable from Time Manhattan cable TV over to Manhattan Neighborhood Network folks, and that's how it started up. They just threw a cable over. Yeah, that's right.
No, you don't.
And the submissions in those days were half-inch, reel-to-reel, it's only quarter-pack. And they would say, "Please give us programs, please give us programs." They didn't have anything to fill up their public access slots.
Next question. We have 3 more questions.
Shay, don't you have a question?
She was sitting very attentively watching you. Hi.
Hi there, how are you? What's your name?
I'm Kate. My name's Kate.
Oh, hi, Kate.
Hi. I was just curious about what public access heroes you may have had growing up or now.
What?
Who are your public access heroes?
Oh, I have to sit down. about public access, folks, is that every station is so parochial. They never know what anybody else is doing. They don't care. They're running their own operation. They have no idea what's going on in public access all over the country. So I guess it comes down to this, that I don't know any public access producers much. But it could be this Leslie Dutton, who covered the story of Richard Fine in jail. She went into jail. The sheriff would not let her interview Richard Fine, the lawyer who exposed the judges and was in jail for contempt of court. The sheriff wouldn't let him go in, and then Judge Watch brought a lawsuit against the sheriff, and they won. So that she finally got the right to go in and interview Richard Fine, and she sent me those tapes, and they arrived yesterday. I tell you, it's great. It's great. You gotta see this. I'm making a dub for you.
If anybody wants to see it, I am going to have.
Oh, it's fantastic how she interviewed him. And how he said, I'm going to go after the corruption in this county until I get rid of every crooked judge. That's something I always wanted to do, but I gave up on it after 20 years. So as to my favorite public access producer, I guess it would happen this month. It would be she, Leslie Dutton, and his name, Full Disclosure, the news behind the news. She's good. Fearless. I would think the sheriff would be going after her pretty soon. Yes, sir.
How well did you know Pancho Barnes?
Do you know Pancho Barnes, and how well?
Honey, I don't know Pancho.
California, Edwards Air Force Base.
California what?
She used to own Edwards Air Force Base.
No, do you know something I don't know?
Okay, let me ask you an alternative question then, for both of you. How well did you know George Stoney, and what influence did he have on you?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of George Stoney. Did you know him?
Yeah.
No, I have never met him. Is he alive now?
Yes.
Yes.
He's been here.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had been
He's
here.
a supporter of the sanctuary.
Good for him.
And he's the grandfather of public access TV. And he's wonderful. He's 98 years old now.
He is.
And he organized with people in the 70s, I believe, for public access. So it actually wasn't the Congress who came up with the idea that public access would be a good idea. It was a group of people, citizens, saying cable companies are coming in to our neighborhoods and they're running lines, their cable lines on our public streets and in our trees, and we want something back. So a group of people organized to get public access in their neighborhoods and municipalities, and one of those people was George Stoney.
Really? In Manhattan?
I don't know exactly where he started organizing, but he's on the board of directors at Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, he's grandfather.
Does anybody remember public access before, was there any public access, let me ask you, before 1972? Oh, you chickens.
I don't know. This is all something we should know. It's our area.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's the earliest, that's when I started, and I don't remember any other. There was a cable act that said that a municipality could ask a cable operator for PEG, public, educational, and government access. They could ask for it. But they didn't, the bill didn't say that that the cable company had to do it.
And that cable act was in 1968.
That was?
Mm-hmm.
And then the big one was 1984. Okay, folks.
Last question.
Thank you both. That was really inspiring.
Thank you. What's your name?
Cleo.
Hi, Cleo.
In the documentary, you talked about the balance between evil and love, and how evil is necessary for a progression of love. So, I guess my question for you is, do you have any evils, and then what do you use to balance the love with that evil?
Oh, you just love everybody. And I wanted to tell Kate, about the couple who had identical twin girls and they named them Kate and Duplicate?
I haven't heard that one yet. That's really good.
Did you hear the one that Adam was talking to God? And he says, God, why did you make Eve? God says, well, I thought you were lonesome. Well, God, why did you make her so beautiful? Well, so you would like her. God, why did you make her so dumb? So she would like you.
One more question.
Then we have one.
Okay, two more questions.
Now, please, how can we get a copy? How can we purchase a copy of your film?
I can give you a card. This is actually hot off the presses. I just finished it at
probably a lot of people would be
3 o'clock this afternoon. I'll give you my card and whoever else, and I will let you know. There's a little bit more work to be done. Thank you. Thank you, Judy.
Is there time for one?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Be here all night.
Hey, I'm Peter.
Hi, Peter.
So you were talking about the key to happiness is finding what you do better than anyone else. And it seems like you're good at lots of things. And, you know, like making TV, but then it seems like you have a passion for law and helping people with lawsuits and then just making people happy. So I was wondering, like, what you see your strength is, or if maybe something else emerged. Like maybe you thought making TV, I think, was sort of your strength at first, but then maybe that was something that led you to some other greater strength. It just seems like there's a lot of depth to it. It's not just like, I found I'm good at this. It's like, it's sort of built on itself. So I'm just curious.
Well, I have to confess, the answer is still television.
But is television your medium that you use to spread happiness and to connect people?
It would be some of it. Some of it is these friends who came with me from Kinderhook, right? And some of it is your Center for Alternative Media. Okay. It's nothing to sneeze at. So Peter, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Harry was talking to God, and he says, God, how much is $1 million to you? And God said, $10. And Harry says, well, God, how long is 1,000,000 years to you? And God says, a second. Harry says, God, would you loan me $10? And God says, certainly, just a second.
Park here, and we have some happy boats up here. If people would like to come up and talk to Glendora and myself, maybe we'll just kind of hang out here for a little bit. And thank you all for coming.
How do we get into your friend,
No, I lived here last year. Oh, okay. Yeah, he came up here.
For her, to keep her going, and give her the will to live. So it was haunting. Haunting is the only word I could think of, because
He was her alter ego.
oh, that's a way of putting it too. Yeah. It looked like he was on her show. I thought I saw one of the clips of him being on her show. Did you see that, Glendora?
No, I didn't know that he was on her show.
I thought I saw one, and if it's true, why didn't she play it up more? That's what. It's interesting.
All I thought was that they corresponded.
Yeah.
She had like a shrine to him, though.
Yeah, it's almost scary.
Yeah.
Almost. But then you see how it held her through, kept her going.
That and the public access, yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah. But yours was so joyful.
Joyful?
Yes.
It's all God's work. God gets the credit, right?
And I really didn't know how many lawsuits you did, but I wanted everybody else to know.
You didn't know how many what?
I really didn't know how many lawsuits. I'd already answered that, but I wanted everybody else to know.
Yeah, and you were part of them.
We had a nice turnout, Glendora, huh?
Yeah, that was, well, I would say 70. What would you say, 100? Maybe 100?
I don't know.
Wow.
The whole place was
Somewhere between there. Yeah. I'd go with the higher number. It's showbiz. 150.
How many do you think were there, Hattie?
I have no idea. I didn't count.
You know what? Somebody there will know.
Could you hear all right, Hattie?
It was fine. I could hear sufficient.
What time is it, folks?
Almost 10 o'clock. Late.
They have a good time, those people, don't they?
Yeah, they're very, that itself is worthy of a documentary, what they're doing. But that's how they got the money, was from a documentary that they did.
Did you drive to Glendora's house? Or?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. No, I'm
Did
talking
you know
about
how they got
you.
that money? Yeah, I did. I parked
Or
there.
grant, right?
Yes, from doing a documentary.
What was it on?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe it didn't sink in because I didn't know who the person. Oh, it was about democracy. It was about democracy. And the $20,000 they got from that doing that film,
Oh, oh.
they put right into the sanctuary there.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
You met Steve Pierce?
Yes, and I guess he and Branda are married.
They are?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they run it together.
Really?
Yeah, and Branda, did you see? She got an Emmy.
She did?
Yeah.
The blonde hair was
The one who
the guy downstairs?
Yep.
the one who introduced everybody and took you on the tour.
Yes.
She got an Emmy?
Yes. Yeah, I held it.
Yes.
Yeah, she did for the editing of Perry Como's special in the Holy Land.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, they're interesting people.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I wanted to get a look at that one book they recently helped somehow about freeing Charles. That was Harriet, what's her name, Turbo? The person who freed the slaves. She freed a slave.
Tubman.
Yes, how do you say it?
Tubman.
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 T-U-B-M-A-N.
Yes, yes, I've been learning a lot about, well,
I was
a lot
going
of...
to say her, but I wasn't sure that's who you meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant, but I'm bad with the names. But I've been learning about her for a project I'm working on. And one of the books that they were connected with at that, one of their projects, called Freeing Charles, was about her, Harriet Tubman, freeing this slave in Troy by force.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hattie, did you ever read that book about the Negro years ago who was accused of a murder?
Where?
In Kinderhook.
In Kinderhook?
Yes. And these lawyers did all the investigation.
Yeah.
And they showed that he was innocent.
Did you hear about the black man who was lynched?
No.
Well, they claim suicide. How many black men are going to kill themselves by hanging on a tree in a public space? It was called suicide. It was in Hudson in the 80s. Isn't that disturbing?
The interesting thing about the Kinderhook one is that the book, they name all the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where everything was. And he was,
But they proved his innocence.
yes,
But this black man who was found hanging on a tree, who was ruled suicide,
yeah.
that chance. My community is still afraid, still keenly aware of that 30 years later. But that Harriet Tubman used to carry a gun with her. My sister was telling me this. And if somebody backtracked and wasn't going to follow through once they committed to being free, she'd kill him. She said she would anyway. I don't know if she ever did. But she said, you will be free.